We need to stop becoming audience members of our own lives. When I talk to people, talk to my friends, it feels like everyone's hobbies have devolved to just consumption, to just doom scrolling TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts for hours, just not sure where the time went. Screen times are now in the double digits of hours. Netflix feels less like a curated list of artistic shows, but just more content to just keep you hooked on the platform. Everything just feels like we are just consuming, kind of like those scenes from Wall-E, where we just kind of put on our headsets and we're just become kind of zombies. And I'm not saying this from any high horse. I do this too. I have to regularly take, breaks from Instagram. I've deleted TikTok entirely. Netflix feels like an addiction sometimes. So I struggle with this just as much as anyone else. And it's a real problem. The one thing that I found that breaks me out of this brain rot, breaks me out of this feeling like a zombie, breaks me out of feeling like an audience member is creation. And I know that almost, a cynical view of that is like, okay, so you're just going to add to the masses of content. And sure, that I think that's a cynical take, but sure, that can be a take. But I think whenever I create, it just feels so incredible to take something I'm passionate about, take something I built a tool in. My first YouTube channel was all about fitness and put all this swirl of thoughts, ideas, images and create something and then put it out to the world and see if you can connect with someone. And it's really incredible. It's not just fun. It is a lot of fun, but it almost like wakes the brain up. It makes the brain go from like, oh, these synapses are not really doing much. They're just kind of on autopilot to like everything's waking up. You're thinking deeply. You're trying to come up with ideas. You're trying to put it together. Like, oh, how should I say this? What image should I put at this moment? It really wakes you up, and then you just feel like, hey, this is something that I feel so passionately. I can feel it internally. I don't even know how to express it, and now I've created something to express it. And it takes you from being that audience member to the director, to putting you on the other side of the screen and being like, look at this thing I made. And no one has to watch it. And that's okay. So you're not contributing anything negative to the world. Like, especially on YouTube, it's not fed to you. If they don't click, they don't watch. So you can make whatever you want. You're not bothering anybody. And a lot of times people will be like, hey, I like your message, and there's real connection. And one thing I've learned now when I consume content, it kind of made me more intentional about what I consume because I felt so good creating. I was like, I kind of want that same feeling when I consume. And so this isn't anti-consuming content, like only create and then judge people who consume your own content that doesn't make any sense. But now it's made me more intentional where I try to watch stuff that I try to follow people and watch things that make me feel good, make me feel like, oh, I feel inspired, I feel excited, I feel connected, I feel like I genuinely learned something. And so creating it's a two-pronged experience where first you have the creation piece and you feel so incredible that you made something that you're passionate about and you put it onto the world and people connect with it. But second, then when you go back to consumption, because you're not going to be creating 24/7. I was watching TV last night, but when I watch something, I can now feel like, hey, does this connect with me? Do I feel better after this? Now my Instagram feed is like actually good in a lot of ways because whenever I feel like something didn't really make me feel better, I do a reset. I click the button that lets you reset the feed to let the algorithm know like I don't like this. And if something actually makes me feel good, makes me feel inspired, makes me feel wow, I learned something, I'll like it, I'll share it to kind of give the algorithm that idea that like this is stuff I like. And the other day I was on my feed and I saw like 20 reels in a row and every single reel made me feel inspired, made me feel excited to create something, made me feel good about life. And so, that's the really exciting thing. It's not just about stopping being an audience member completely. It's about being an intentional audience member and then being a creator as well. Being creative really got me out of that funk you go through when you start going through the modern world and life can just be tough. And creating just felt like magic. Creating felt like being a kid again. And then creating, in a lot of ways, healed my relationship with consumption. And I just really hope that inspires you. If there's something that you feel like you've been wanting to create, if there's something you feel like, hey, I really want to put this out in the world, I really want to inspire someone, I really just want to share a special interest, a niche hobby, then yeah, do it. You'll break out of this cycle of doom scrolling that we've all kind of succumbed to. And it's not inherently our fault. The algorithms are made to be addictive, but it's also our responsibility to figure out like, hey, how do I get out of that? How do I kind of break out of that? And I think one of the best paths is creation yourself. Create your own content. Create something you feel genuinely good about, you feel passionate about. Not just create just to put more things out there. And when you create, you'll feel better. And when you consume, you'll feel better too. And so I hope this video can inspire you to just be an active participant in your life. Be the director. Don't be the audience member. So if you like this message, I have other videos I think would resonate with you. This one is about how social media in general ruins creativity, but what you can do about it. And then if you're curious about my journey, you can watch this video on how YouTube changed my life in just 1 year. So I'll see you in one of those videos, and thank you so much for watching.